Hello and welcome to a brand new installment of Nintendo News Report for Wednesday, February 13th, 2019, the first day since Link's Awakening was announced to be coming back. I'm Donald Terriel, joined here tonight by Neal Ronahan.
Hi, I'm excited for a new 2D Zelda. That's a thing that I like very much.
And by a man who nearly self-destructed in joy when they showed off Starfox Racing, except it was in StarLink for some reason, John Reardon.
When you're a Starfox fan, you just got to take what you can get. You can't be picky.
Yeah, how weird is it that Starfox Grand Prix went from Retro to Ubisoft to finish it off?
Well, Retro was busy.
Yeah,
they had it finished. Ubisoft just restarted development on Grand Prix.
It wasn't coming together. It wasn't coming together. So Ubisoft took over development.
Clip of split screen racing you saw, that was as far along as they are right now.
And yet that game is out in 2 months. Amazing. Well,
they had the engine. So they had it up on Retro.
This is kind of, I guess it's maybe not the most interesting news, but I think the StarLink stuff is cool because I'm just happy to see them do more with that game, and especially do more with the Star Fox of that game.
I wonder how much Nintendo, because that game, it sold well enough on Switch. It didn't sell great. It bombed on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah. That's the thing. Is I think if I walked into a Best Buy, they would just give me a copy of StarLink at this point.
It was $20 last weekend at Best Buy,
but it was 30 on Switch because it was better.
It's the Star Fox tax.
Yeah, Star Fox is worth exactly $10 now. We know. But I'm just amazed, with how that game didn't perform well. I almost wonder, if Nintendo is just sliding Ubisoft money to be like, "Yo, just put out an update with more Star Fox stuff in it."
Yeah, that.
It doesn't really make sense otherwise. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if any StarLink stuff comes to the other versions, which would be kind of a bummer to the people who bought it on other platforms. But as someone who owns it on Switch, I'm thrilled to see more Star Fox nonsense.
They've done one update already that added a bunch of content, and
added the photo mode and stuff.
Yeah, and some new enemy types and new mission types. And it sounds like they're doing more of that in this update. So everybody will get that. It's just that the Nintendo fans will get, new story DLC for free, which is awesome.
Yeah. I guess one last thing on StarLink. Maybe next time, just don't do Toys of Life anymore. What were you thinking, Ubisoft?
I like my R-Wing back there, and it's great. I could use 3 more and maybe a Wolfen. But yeah, it makes no financial sense.
Yeah, I don't get they were all right, everybody else except for Nintendo occasionally releasing some Smash Brothers figures and a giant Pikachu. Everybody else is dead. Activision bet hard on Toys to Life and it backfired.
Yeah, to be fair, when they started StarLink, when StarLink was announced, it was kind
of Infinity was dead for a year.
When they first announced it, was it already? Because they announced
Infinity, Disney Infinity, I think it's been dead since 2015.
No, it was early. It was killed officially in 2016, and then StarLink was announced at the fall. And I think StarLink was actually announced at the 2017 E3.
Yeah,
because it was the year before they showed. Yeah.
The Starfox.
So it was, but by then they had probably made the toys.
They had 3 years of warning that they shouldn't have done this. I have no sympathy for Ubisoft.
Yeah.
It's a cool game, though.
Well, the sequel, if it gets one, will not be Toys to Life.
Yeah.
And it will be Switch exclusive, and it will be called Star Fox Battle for Atlas.
Speaking of a sequel that got announced at this, that I'm very happy to see because it corrected some of the wrongs of its predecessor, mainly by being on a system that people own. Super Mario Maker 2. That was the headliner, or I guess the opening act. I don't know.
That was the opener, and we got slopes, we got 3D world references, same screen pipes.
There's a 3D world. That's the new map type. So you have OG Mario Brothers, 3 World, New Super Mario Brothers, and 3D World is another type.
So we've got what? We got Toadette running around in a cat suit now.
There's a Toad as well. Toad in the think he was in the builder suit in that art. And then there's a Koopa Troopa without a shell and a Jeep. Like, sure. And I mean, just the interface stuff looks so smooth. Like, I love, they showed how you can do the like the scrolling airship stages, and you could briefly see like the motion for doing that, and it's like a little bird that you like drag upwards, which is just like the interface for making levels in Mario Maker was like creating a level for that game almost as fun as playing the game itself. And they just looked like they smoothed over the rough edges that were in the first game. And like I love Mario Maker. It had some issues. I think they smoothed out some of them over the course of that game's lifespan on Wii U. On Switch, it's a system that, as of this moment, I believe almost triple the amount of people who ever owned a Wii U currently own. So that's going to be cool.
Pretty much.
The 3D worlds compressed to 2D really just points out how ugly New Super Mario Bros. Is.
Oh, totally.
It's like 3D. It's like, hey, this is what New Super Mario Bros. Would look like if we cared.
Yeah.
Like,
if we gave 2D Mario,
do 2.5D Mario, that's how it should look, not New Super Mario Bros.
All it does is highlight how good EPD Tokyo is.
Yeah.
But also, they seem to be, because the concern with putting a Mario Maker on Switch was, oh, what do you do if you're playing on TV? Because you don't have the touchscreen to do everything with, but you can just, they seem to be showing off radial menus, so you could just pick it with an analog stick pretty easily. And then
I mean, I do like, I think there's a charm to the original way that Mario Maker was on Wii U, but it looks like they're accounting for the absences of a stylus, the absences of, the dual screen experience on Switch. And, it's the kind of thing where I had doubts about that with Mario Maker leading up to this Switch game, or this inevitable Switch game. But then there's that part of me that after seeing that trailer, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have doubted these guys. UI and the limitations of the Wii U. So I should give them the benefit of the doubt with making a good UI on Switch.
I just hope that there's plenty of original Nintendo created levels in the game, like they had on the 3DS version, because I think half of the reason to get this is, hey, new Mario levels, and the other half is to marvel at what the all the police state references from Giant Bomb.
Yeah. My thing that I wanted this in the first Mario Maker, and I hope it comes to fruition here. If we can string together levels, maybe not an entire I'm gonna make worlds and world maps. Like, just give me the ability to be like, all right, I'm gonna make these 4 levels. It's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go through them in a linear order, and that way you can kind of build and introduce things more than you could before.
All right. So I think at this point, I think there's some culpas that we need to Mia here, because you might recall that we did a predictions video that went up yesterday. Neal, what was the final score on this?
So we made a total of 5 predictions each to make it a total of 15. John went a unsurprising 0 for 5. By my count, Donald was 2 for 5. One of those was it had been leaked everywhere on the planet, Assassin's Creed, and it got I should bring up the notes that I had. A half point for StarLink. We decided that was okay, even though your StarLink prediction would that be the basic version would be live for Nintendo Switch Online members. Hold on, I'm gonna bring up these predictions. What was your other half point?
Wait, Donald got multiple half points?
Yeah.
Joker I think it was Joker.
Oh yeah. Joker didn't get a release date, but was kind of shown off and given a release window.
Yeah. So because that was the next thing in the direct was Joker and coming in with version 3, which contains who the hell knows, and will be out in April.
Yeah, which is cool. Like there wasn't a whole lot of news there. I guess the Amiibo coming out, that wasn't really in the direct. But guess what? If you want the Smash Amiibo, Go find your retailer of choice and keep an eye out for any exclusives. I don't know if there's any exclusive realtors. Half of the places that used to have exclusives, I feel, are dead now.
3/4 of them in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as the rest of our predictions, I got a half point for saying that there would be a Final Fantasy Shadow drop. However, I said it would be 7. It was actually Final Fantasy 9. And I did think there would be a demo, and I said maybe of Daemon Ex Machina, which there was. And I also said an eShop game, which admittedly was very vague, but Tetris 99 does fit the bill there.
And technically, you can actually download Deltarune now. It just won't unlock for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that is true. And then the 2D Zelda. But I didn't think it was going to be a remake, but I still said 2D Zelda. And we got a 2D Zelda.
Yeah.
So yeah, we failed at predictions, but I guarantee. You know what? I guaranteed 80% wrong. And I think we did that.
pretty much 3.5 out of 3 out of 15. So yeah, that's 80%. 80% wrong. So we talked about Super Mario Maker 2, Smash Brothers, Captain Toad getting DLC. Cool. Free update.
So I didn't realize the Captain Toad thing was available now.
The co-op is.
The co-op is, and you
can apparently if you pre-buy it, you can play something now.
Yeah, there's one of the worlds, I think it's like 3 or 4 crowns, can be played now if you buy the bundle, but otherwise it'll just come out on March 14th.
This is
I'll probably do that.
That's a game that I didn't buy on Switch, but I'll probably get now that it has co-op.
So here's my pitch for Captain Toad on Switch. The Wii U better on Wii U. There was like some motion stuff that was meant for the Wii U. There's a reason it was made for that system. However, the new Mario Odyssey referencing levels that are in that game are excellent. So hearing that likely the people who made those excellent Mario Maker inspired levels in Captain Toad are making new content makes me very excited to play that content. So I will definitely be revisiting Captain Toad on March 14th.
I could pick up the bundle now, but I think it's like $75 Canadian for the game and the DLC. So
yeah, I haven't seen what the DLC is separately, but I guess what, $15-$20 maybe.
I think it would be 20 because it looks like it's about 25, 26.
That's a big.
That's DLC. A big ass. That's. Yeah. I mean, it's 18 levels basically.
I think so.
Yeah, so that's a bit of content there. Let's see. Then I believe Dragon Quest was next. Dragon Quest Builders 2. That's going to be out in, I think it was August. Hang on, I got the press release up here. July, right? Oh, right, July 12th. Because then something we'll talk about later is 2 weeks after that. Dragon Quest that's already out in Japan. That's a bit of a known quantity. And then they dropped the Dragon Quest 11 bomb.
Yeah, definitive edition. Dragon Quest 11 Definitive Edition, which, holy Lord, that's what I wanted out of that version. So Dragon Quest 11 came out on PS4 last year in America. The year before that, it had come out in Japan on PS4 and 3DS. So PS4 is, if you play Dragon Quest 8, very much like the future iteration of that game. You're in a 3D space, you wander. The overworld map is very pretty. The 3DS version had this thing where you could switch between a PlayStation 1 looking 3D look and then old 8-bit graphics. So in the Switch version, they kind of crammed those together in that you have it's probably not going to look as nice as it does on PS4 because Dragon Quest 11 looks real nice on PS4. I think the Switch version will probably look good enough. But you can play that 3D, nice-looking overworld, and then you can switch to play it like the pseudo 8-bit graphic style. Apparently, you can do that at any time, which is just so wacky and weird.
Although if you switch to because it looked more like a 16-bit DQ5 style, but if you switch to that overhead view, you actually go back to random encounters, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Instead of having instead of having the enemies on the overworld like you would see in a 9 or in 11 mode for the most part.
That's funny. I know that the 3DS version also had some extra content. I would assume with this being the definitive edition, that extra content is probably going to be here.
Yeah.
They're also adding an orchestral soundtrack, which for some reason the boring dude who makes the same old music in every Dragon Quest game like hates orchestral music.
No, because they were issuing, like, if you modded the PC version of Dragon Quest XI to get that music in, you would get a DMCA takedown notice, or you'd get like a DMCA letter from your ISP. Because I think the main reason for that is because he still wants to sell concert CDs because he's an 87-year-old guy who thinks war crimes are cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was. Oh god, I forgot it was that guy.
Yeah.
And also, you can switch between the English and the Japanese voiceovers if that's your bag. Anyway, that's coming out in the fall, Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition. I'm very excited. I did play about 10 hours of the game on PS4. After seeing what the Switch version is, I will likely. Anybody want to buy a copy of Dragon Quest XI on PS4? I might be in the market to unload it.
Yeah, I think I was going to ask Dr. Dragon Quest on the telephone if what I should use to sort of get back into it after accidentally overdosing on Dragon Quest about 6 or 7 years ago now, and I think 11 will be my game.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I liked what I played. It's just that I don't. My PS4 is upstairs in my office. The Switch I can take with me anywhere. Dragon Quest XI was the only reason I played my PS4 in a very long time. We did skip over in our chronological view Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 inexplicably coming out after Avengers Endgame.
But no, I think they'll time it so that it comes out around the time the Blu-ray version comes out.
Yeah, it could. I'm trying to think of when did Infinity. I think Infinity War. Yeah, it might be because I think Infinity War was like digital first in August or something. So right now this is
3 months or so, isn't it? Is that normally the time frame?
I think so. It's weird now because with all a lot of things seem to go digital first.
Yeah,
and that might be like a month before it comes out like in stores. But anyway, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order is due out in the summer. We didn't really get any news otherwise, other than narrowing down the release frame. Because I think Captain Marvel was shown in the original trailer.
Yeah.
They just were like, hey, it's this character that's in a movie out next month.
Relevant.
Please be excited. I'm excited for this game. It's still a lot that I need to know about it, but I have an interest, and I hope it doesn't suck.
We've also got Box Boy X Box Boy plus Box Girl. So apparently, when they said bye bye Box Boy was actually the one saying goodbye to the 3DS.
Yeah.
More Box Boy.
That's cool. And I like the way it looks on in HD as well. Like that was such a simplistic. Yeah. It was such a simplistic looking series on 3DS, but I think they translated it very well to the big screen, and I look forward to romping through another one of those games.
Yeah, so that's April 26th. Bloodstained coming this summer. That rapidly became a theme here. Was it at this point that they dropped the other big Nintendo Switch Online bomb?
No.
Got
maybe.
Tsumsums.
Yeah, Disney Tsumsum Festival. That was right after Dragon Quest.
Oh. Yeah. So whatever the hell that Tsumsum Festival thing is, it's Bandai Namco for whatever that's worth. But
Neal, my wife wants the review copy for that, so you can just
we'll slide. Although didn't they do Disney's Magical World as well? And I don't think we ever got a review copy for that game.
Oh, we'll get one.
However, Disney Tsumsum Festival is a Bandai Namco joint. I know, curious, John. Why is your wife super into this?
Because she collects Tsumsums.
Okay, all right.
If I pan my camera like this way, you'd see her desk where her monitor is all covered in Tsumsums. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I know there's some mobile games with it. They're very big. I remember the last time that I went to Disney World was seemingly when they were starting to take over. Like it's cool. Like that's probably fun. I wonder who's developing it. Because I know like
Not
Disney
Bandai
Magical. Well, so Bandai Namco is publishing it, but much like so that Disney Magical World game, for example, was made by the people who made recent Switch eShop game Gabuchi, which is like Box Boy Light, and now unfortunately is rendered moot because Box Boy is coming to the system and is better than Gabuchi probably. Gabuchi's okay.
Yeah,
I wrote a review about it.
This could still be a Bandai Namco, who are now free up after their terrible. This could actually be. This is probably Metroid Prime 4. They Tsumsums, and this is why Nintendo canceled it, because they were like, "This isn't working. You should do something else with this. We'll go get retro."
Yeah.
So, and then I believe after that we had the very fun
Starfox Grand Prix.
Oh yes, which comes in the form of an update to StarLink that'll be out in April, which will also include the rest of the Star Fox team facing down the rest of the Star Wolf team.
I can put another 350 hours into this game, according to the totally accurate in-game clock.
The sad thing is that's probably only off by about 10%.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I think it's. I think I'm approaching 100. But yeah, according to the in-game clock, I am 358 hours in. So
yeah, but it's cool. They're adding a lot of stuff to StarLink, and there is a racing mode, which is just it's funny with all the Starfox Grand Prix. How funny would it be if the people who were like they're making a racing game just like caught a glimpse of StarLink's multiplayer mode?
Or this is Nintendo being
Did
like,
we just crack the code?
Nintendo's like,
Starfox Grand Prix started circulating.
Nintendo's like, hey, we want to do this Star Fox Grand Prix thing. We're not sure if people are going to like it. Since we're paying you to make this DLC anyway, can you throw in like a racing thing and just see how people react to Star Fox Racing? And then we'll like put out the full game in summer. Keep the faith. Never lose hope.
Yep. Never surrender. Did anybody play Rune Factory?
I own it. I didn't play it.
It's more RPG than farming sim, but so it's probably closer to what I'm into, because while we were getting the announcement of Rune Factory 4 remastered or special, and also that Rune Factory 5 is in development for release, God knows when. Fun fact on the Japanese Direct, they announced a crossover between Story of Seasons and Doraemon.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why they did that, I don't know. But Rune Factory, that's a much beloved simulation RPG, and that'll be out later in 2019.
Rune Factory 4 looked ugly on 3DS, and it looks even uglier on Switch.
Yeah.
I just need to like because I played it on 3DS and I was like, this is a bad looking game. Like it has really unfinished looking pre-rendered backgrounds. And boy, they do not blow up well. And then the characters still, they look like the Final Fantasy games that were on DS. Like this is just an ugly game. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah. Soon, Rune Factory, and then Oninaki, the latest effort from Tokyo RPG Factory, makers of such 6.5 products as I Am Setsuna. Maybe look at
and Lost Sphere, which
I
don't even know if we had a review of that, but from what I played of Setsuna and Lost Sphere, not interested. The thing that I have that's nice to say about Oninaki is that it looked like an original game.
Yeah, it's I'm given the usual pricing model for these Tokyo RPG Factory games. Neal, we can just put me down for the review on that. That'd be great.
All right. Yeah. It'll probably be like $60 and be a 15-hour game. Although I think Lost Sphere was a lot longer. But I don't know if that was a good thing or not. But yeah, I mean, Oninaki, it seems to have this concept of you're switching between like the living world and the world of the dead. and you collect these lost souls that then you can use in battle to be your personas. I mean, your monsters in battle. And it's coming out this summer. Like it looked cool. I'm a little jaded because I didn't really care that much for I Am Setsuna, and Lost Sphere I'd never even bothered with because it was high cost, and I didn't really hear anything good.
Yeah. You don't want to be called a factory when it comes to producing these things.
Yeah.
So maybe that name was maybe we should have taken that as a sign. Also weird is that this seemed to be its debut because previous RPG Factory games have come out PS4 first.
Yeah.
Or at least same time. So.
Well, I think Lost Sphere. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I think Final Fantasy IX also came out on Xbox One.
Yeah, that they
7 is probably the same date.
Yep.
Brief aside, what happened to that Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles remastered thing? I was really looking forward to that. That was supposed to be out now.
Canceled.
Okay.
They're trying to figure out ways to get Vitas and 3DSs to work as controllers. All right. After Oninaki, Yoshi's Crafted World showed off new features, showed off some old friends, and demo's out right now. Not very long though.
So the demo has one level, but it shows. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty good representation of what this game might be. I played the demo. I did not play the demo in its full entirety. So you have like the front side through the level. It's all very cardboard aesthetic, super charming. And that, like, you run into Kamek and Baby Bowser, and then they're like, "We're gonna blow up this train," and you're like, "Oh no, I'm Yoshi. I'm gonna go find the 3 parts of this train and put the train back together, and then get to the end of the level." But the thing that I liked about it was that it wasn't necessarily like your typical linear, like this is a 2D platforming stage. Like there was a lot of depth in that. Like you were kind of going around this square area, and you could kind of crisscross around it by going from the foreground to the background, interacting with objects, side to side, foreground, background, and you were looking for these 3 pieces of this train hidden. You get them, you get the train, you go to the end of the level. When you get to the end of the level, oh no, there's 3 little Poochie pups that are barking at you. And you being a very kind Yoshi, you turn around and they're like, psych, and then they run into the level that you just came from. So then there is the flip side version of that first level, is going there to find 3 dogs that are hidden throughout the level, and then getting to the goal, which is where you started. So really, Yoshi's Crafted World is just a flat circle. And then after you beat the flip side, then you got out of it, and there was a dude being like, "Hey man, I really like cows. You should go back in that level. And there's 5 cows in there, I think. Go find the cows." And that's that I had to get ready for this, so I left.
Yeah.
I'll probably go try to find the cows later. I won't lie, not a huge fan of Woolly World. Something about this Crafted World demo, I'm kind of on board.
So how was the A game?
It reminded me of Yoshi's Story. It reminds me of Yoshi's Story, and I'm one of the 8 people on the planet that kind of likes Yoshi's Story.
It's the best Yoshi game.
Finally, I'm among friends.
I've never played Yoshi's Story. So
brief Yoshi's Story defending. If you go in and expecting another Yoshi's Island game, you're going to be sorely disappointed because it's not that. But it's this kind of weird like game where you have to, because you get a certain amount of fruit and the level just ends. But like if you get all the melons, then that's really cool. And there's all these different alternate pathways to go through the story, and the soundtrack is really good. Like I haven't played it in a while.
Like 4 alternate levels for each world.
Yeah, it's like I played it a lot when it came out. I think when it came out on Wii Virtual Console, I played it a lot more, and I expected to not enjoy it as much because people had been telling me for a decade that Yoshi's Story was bad. But playing it on Wii Virtual Console, and I really enjoyed it. I like that game a lot.
All right, and just quick question here: was the egg throwing weird with because apparently you have the free reticle now instead of it just doing the rotating thing?
I actually like the free reticle a lot more. It was weird because I'm used to having that stupid like But
you know what
like,
other game has a free reticle is Yoshi Story.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, maybe. Like I didn't expect to see like play this game and just be like, huh, it's kind of like Yoshi's Story, but that's kind of how I feel about it. And it also looks like the way that they're making these levels where you have to kind of traipse over them so many times. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a weirdly low level count in this game. But we'll find out. It's out in a month and a half.
Yeah. And then from there we move to Fire Emblem Harry Potter. I think the only thing that was missing there was the sorting hat to determine which one of the 3 countries you should be joining.
Won't lie, kind of spaced out during this.
It looks cool. I'm not a Fire Emblem fan, but
it's a Fire Emblem game. I'll probably show up, but like a lot of like, I'm at the point where just give me the Fire Emblem game.
Yeah,
guys. Let's go.
Let's go. But I do like the idea that you can have anybody go into promote into any class at any time, because it's set in a military academy. Right down to the fact that it seems like everyone's in high school. So basically, it's a Fire Emblem game if everybody was Donald. Because you can put them wherever you want. And they're also telling 3 stories, but they're not selling 3 games for it. Thank heavens.
That's good.
Yeah.
The big disappointment with this game. So Fire Emblem, when it was first announced 2 years ago, is coming out in 2018. Then at E3 2018, it's announced that it was coming out in spring 2019. Then today, right before spring 2019, it was announced that it was coming out on July 26th, which, in case you guys didn't know, is the summer.
It's a holiday title.
Yeah. So I mean, and also interesting to note, worldwide release. Like that's kind of, I think that'll be a series first, right?
Yeah, the closest we've ever gotten before was like 3 weeks. That was with Valentia and Warriors. And speaking of Warriors, Koei Tecmo is apparently helping out on this game.
Yeah, like that was another shock too. Which
I could sort of see why, just with the like maybe they took some of the graphical style from Warriors, but
it does. It graphically, it looks a lot like Warriors in my untrained eye.
I mean, Warriors was kind of just being like the cutscenes from Awakening, right?
Except really high res.
Right. Yeah.
Although
I'll be curious. I wonder how much of an influence Koei Tecmo has on this game. It could just be that they're helping out with
Muso game.
Yeah, secretly, it's actually just a Muso game.
Yeah. I'm just glad that because when they showed off like the troop battles last at E3, it made it seem like it was Longrosser, which don't get me started on Longrosser.
Oh no.
But they does seem to be fine now, and one of the armies has something called Linhardt, which I have used Linhardt before in Fire Emblem Heroes, and that has saved me so much money, because it utterly breaks every bit of single player content there is.
Our own Xander says, if there is any student ex-teacher bonding, Nintendo better watch out. So,
yeah, because your gender selectable character, it's a nice way of having a tactician, because you're literally teaching these kids how to fight.
Yeah,
like, I mean, is can you reproduce with your students? That's what the people want to know, Nintendo.
Why do we always have to have these conversations with Fire Emblem games?
I don't think it's going to be present. I don't think it's going to be present this time, simply because I don't. Well, one thing, it seems like your character.
In Japan.
No, but I mean, the main character has a love interest already. It seems it's established with the. I've totally blanked on her name now, but also the fact that the whole purpose of having the kids was so that you could mix and match them to have different classes, but you can just do that by teaching the kids now. So maybe we don't have to worry about revisiting the Fire Emblem Fates. Oh, we randomly stuck these kids in a pocket dimension and they grew up really fast thing.
Which, at least, I mean, that is very charming. I like the ridiculousness of future babies. They're fighting alongside their parents.
Yeah, but at least Awakening, there was the excuse like time travel was a thing in that game.
Yeah. just in general with Three Houses, it just seems to be like a new approach for the series. And not that I didn't really like Fates, but I think that might have been that was more of the presentation of Fates kind of soured me because I thought Birthright was like skewed way too easy, and I probably mistakenly played that one first, and then had no interest in playing anything else with Fates because I didn't really enjoy characters and thought it was boring. But like Awakening, I loved, but I just feel like they were kind of maybe spinning wheels a little bit with that series after Awakening. And it seems like Three Houses might be the kind of step forward that maybe not everybody's been wanting, but maybe the series needs. And that might also be part of the reason why it keeps on getting delayed, because it seems like it's a really ambitious game. It's the first time they're going to be on a home console since the Wii.
Yeah.
And HD graphics are a hell of a lot different than Wii graphics, which was, in case you forget, 2 GameCubes duct taped together. But like, yeah, like it looks like it's different, and that's kind of exciting.
So yeah, but July is. I want to play it now.
Soon, Donald.
Soon,
Yeah.
I know.
5 months.
I was thinking I was going to be playing that on the way to E3. Now it's thinking, Persona Q2, I guess.
Yeah, no, that'll be a pretty good playing game, I think. But what you can play now, and I have played about 10 to 15 matches, Tetris 99.
Oh, I need to download that.
The Tetris Battle Royale game, it's free
if you have Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, which I don't think you could play it online if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online. Which
you can't
right now. All you can do is play the online mode.
Yeah, so. all it is 99 people drop into one giant game of Tetris. Last one standing wins.
I think I got to 4th a couple times. It gets really hard. So playing it, I haven't really figured out a lot of this game. A lot of this has just been me playing Tetris, and then like occasionally I'm like, oh, what's happening? But you have the ability to kind of like dictate who you're attacking. So like you kind of have some presets of like, it's like, just go for the KOs. So like when people are weak, I guess your attacks will be focused on them. You can go for the people that are attacking you. You can go for random people. And then you can go for people who get badges, which I don't really know how you get badges, but apparently you get badges in this game. And you just keep on playing Tetris and attacking people. And they have all the other maps are on the side of your Tetris board. And you can also, so you have to use the D-pad to move your tetraminos. But the analog stick, you can go up to the left analog stick at any time and like select a specific person to attack. I think there's a base for a pretty strong like strategic metagame to come out of this Tetris 99 thing. And I really like what I've played so far. It's super easy to just drop in and drop out. It really does seem to be such a pure application of like the addicting quality of a Fortnite, of an Apex Legends, but distilling it into a puzzle game, which is just really, really neat.
And I think it's the first Nintendo developed Tetris game since DS. If I remember.
Well, no. Well, I think. Didn't Hudson make Tetris DS? There was Tetris Axes on 3DS. I think Nintendo put that out.
Yeah. Okay, so
which was okay. I think I don't remember.
It was a fine way to play multiplayer Tetris, but I think we kind of fell off it in my little group here.
Tetris DS was great.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll get friend matches in at some point, because there's one person I know who is like, they could probably beat Tetris the Grandmaster if they put their mind to it. And also, what do we call winning here? Do we call it a borscht royale?
I mean, I know our own Matt Zdaniak did win. I hope he recorded that one. We should have some footage up on this here YouTube.
It will be going up tonight after like a bunch of Daemon Ex Machina footage goes up. I made the mistake of starting with that one.
Okay. but yeah, so we'll have to look at his footage to see what they call it, because so like when you get into the top 10, then like the blocks start falling faster, and at that point it's like the people who know what they're doing. It's very reminiscent of when I played Fortnite, where I'm like, all right, yeah, I can hang, get into the top 20, and then it's like, oh no, these people know how to build, and then I'm done. But yeah, it's really cool, and yeah, I believe in Nintendo's wording, like this is just the first mode that they're doing. Didn't really give any clues as to what they'll do with the future, but it seems like this is going to be a living, breathing game that's gonna run on Switch for a while, and as long as the player base keeps on filling up, I think I heard something about how if you don't get to 99 exactly, they'll fill in with computers.
I saw a couple of matches earlier that they topped out at 97 and 98.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I think if you get like to like if for whatever reason you're getting like 40, 50, maybe they'll fill in with PCs. But if it's just one or two people missing, it just goes.
Yeah, like I mean, I think it's really cool, and it's really fun and easy to play. Like I think I might be putting a lot of time into this game, and I hope that Nintendo keeps on kind of adding new twists to it over time.
Yeah, and I hope they add something that'll let me play it without having to be connected to the internet. Just because, well, it's most of the time when I'm playing Tetris, it's locally. So.
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight survival game. I believe is that on other platforms already?
Yeah, it's on PS4, Xbox One, and I believe PC.
Yeah, so not quite the earth-shattering port I was hoping for. Maybe this one is Deltarune, the follow-up to Undertale from Toby Fox, for those of you who know your anagrams. Nice little trolley trailer, which is the series tradition, and Chapter 1, available for download now, unlocks on the 28th. It's free! Other chapters, not so much.
Yeah, so I should play Undertale, shouldn't I?
I think we both should.
Yeah, all right. Let's do it. We'll report back in about 2 weeks and then play Deltarune.
And then from there we went into Daemon Ex Machina, which showed off some features and also announced a demo. It's a limited time download, so it's like Octopath Traveler, where they're taking feedback on the game. They're going to email certain people, and unfortunately they are encouraging you to spam social media if you have problems with the demo.
I feel bad for them.
I played through the whole demo. It's like an hour long, and it was a lot of fun.
So, go on. I have it downloaded, but I haven't opened it up yet.
Yeah, I mean,
playing Tetris Battle Royale.
No, it's like they give you 4 missions. There's a lot going on in that game, and it kind of took me a while to figure out what everything was. I don't feel like the tutorial isn't super in depth, but it might be more in depth in the actual game. Lots of customization. Like you fully customize your character, customize your mech. You have skill trees for both, which you can get to in the demo. And you can, even once you finish the demo, you can go back and replay those levels and keep unlocking stuff. And has a few different, like a couple just basic defeat all the enemy missions, one escort mission, or not escort, but like defend a point mission, and then a big boss fight, which is the same boss fight that we saw at E3.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder than it looked when they were playing it at E3. I died 3 times. So when you die, your pilot ejects from the mech, and you can try to just survive as your pilot with like a terrible little gun. I don't think there's any way to bring your mech back, at least not that I've seen. So it reminded me of like dying in a terrible spot in Federation Force and just like wandering around as my pilot, hoping that someone would come and get me. So I don't know if that's a feature that'll, like, if you'll be able to get your mech back in the full game or how that'll work. But I don't know. What I played is good. It kind of runs like butt on Switch. The frame rate isn't great, especially during like the boss fights. And I did boot it up a little bit in handheld, and it seemed to run about the same, but the resolution is really pretty low. Like probably pretty darn close to standard definition.
Well, like, I mean, with it, they said summer 2019 is when it's out, so they'll probably have the feedback from Yeah, hopefully they can kind of clean it up and polish it up. Because I like the idea of having a big old mech game on Switch, and like what I've seen in trailers and hearing people talk about this demo, it seems like there's promise, but it's just rough around the edges.
Yeah, it's I don't know how representative it is of the final thing. It might even, I mean, this may still even be like from the E3 build for all I don't know what they were showing, because like I mean some of the levels are levels that they showed. The first level and the last level are both things that they showed at Treehouse. So for all we know, they just sent out the E3 build as a demo. So who knows how representative this is of where the game is actually at.
Yeah, even if it's not from E3, this is probably from, a few months ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, like they do have time to kind of clean this up, and hopefully they will, and hopefully the feedback that they get will be nice.
Let's hope so. Grid Auto Sports. My fellow
It's a racing game.
It's a serious racing game. My fellow Haligonian Greg Stewart probably jumping for joy. Me, I might take a look at it. I did watch a lot of racing as a kid, but that's also because we had a world champion from Canada when I was younger. So, and then Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I didn't think this game could run on Switch.
Yeah,
like I'm impressed with that. And also, didn't that company get bought by Microsoft?
Yeah, but hey, I mean, what? Obsidian got bought by Microsoft, and they're doing that game for 2K. So what's stopping Ninja Theory from porting?
It is true. I do actually remember hearing with Obsidian, because I think they announced that game with 2K at the Game Awards, and that was a couple weeks after Microsoft said that they bought them. And I think what it was is Microsoft was kind of like, yeah, like we bought you, but like if you had outstanding projects, we're not going to be like, no. So I think as probably some of the deals that Microsoft caught with buying these companies, they're probably finishing up whatever outstanding things that they have. Because I mean, it's cool that Hellblade's coming to Switch. Like as long as it doesn't run like butt, I'm very, very interested. I've heard great things about this game.
Do we know who's porting it?
They haven't said. I kind of hope they've hit the panic button, or
it looks like a game that Panic Button would do. It has that kind of like this shouldn't work. Or whoever did, I don't know who did Outlast 2, if that was just in-house or what, but that's another really like realistic game that came out really well on Switch.
Iron Galaxy is another good. They did Diablo 3 and Skyrim, I think.
Yep.
Virtuos, who
Virtuos
did
good. They did.
I think Virtuos. I think I remember talking to some, because I think Virtuos is doing the Final Fantasy 10, 10, 2, and 12.
They did LA Noire and StarLink too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they did StarLink, but I think their LA Noire port wasn't that great, but their StarLink port was very good.
And actually playing StarLink on PS4 now, I'm realizing just how good their Switch port is. Like it's pretty darn comparable.
There's a lot of good companies doing wonderful work bringing games to Switch. So hopefully they're involved with some of Hellblade and some of these other third-party games that we heard about. There's Mortal Kombat 11. It's coming out in April.
We did confirm the release date, right? Because there was a lot of around
April 23rd.
Yeah.
So it's the same day and date with everything else, right?
Yep.
Unravel 2, which
EA Game Alert. EA Game Alert.
I didn't like the first Unravel that much. Maybe it was better. It's very cute.
This is definitely gameplay from the Switch version because it looks super ugly.
Although like this, because when they first showed this game, it was last year at like EA Play, and like you have a red character and a blue character. This game is, we joke about everything being perfect for Switch, but this was perfect for Switch, and they didn't do it then, but here it is now.
Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which also includes Assassin's Creed Liberation. That's neat, I guess.
I'll give Liberation a shot, certainly. Although I think I said on the prediction show that Liberation was my first Vita game, and I still haven't played it there.
Assassin's Creed 3 is my first Wii U game. I bought it because it came out they had it in stores before the Wii U came out.
Right, right, because
I guess I'll buy that.
Yeah, because it was like day and date with the other versions, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know if it was the same day or not, but yeah, it was. They had it out long before the system came out, so I was like, I'll buy that. And so yeah, not a great game to start the system with, but you know, whatever.
Nope. We go to Square Enix corner here. Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, everybody in March, March 20th. 6 days later, we get Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX. It's out right now. If you started playing it at the top of the show, you probably got through the Petrified Forest by now.
Yeah, I haven't played Final Fantasy IX all the way through since like 2001. So I'll probably be playing it for our podcast on the site, the Thirsty Mage, and I look forward to playing it. That's also it's the port that came out. I think it was originally on PC or mobile. Also came out on PS4, but it has like the kind of like speed up, like limit encounter stuff that was added. That kind of just make it so if you just want to experience the game, you can now.
Yeah, I've honestly, like, I hate to join the chorus with 8, but if we had Final Fantasy IX with triple triad instead of Tetramaster, I think it'd be perfect. Not a fan of Tetramaster. And then we go to what for a moment looked an awful lot, had some scale-bound elements, but they seem to have reworked it because Platinum Games showed off Astral Chain.
It looks so cool.
I can't tell you much else.
I love their sci-fi battle shorts. This is I want to play this.
It's got that Xenoblade X vibes. That's what I was getting from it.
Here is, as part of a police special forces unit in a multicultural futuristic city, players work together with a special living weapon, the Legion, in a synergetic action system of battle and exploration. More details about the Switch exclusive will be revealed in the future. Astral Chain launches exclusively for Nintendo Switch on August 30th.
It's
synergetic.
It's a great word.
Is that a word?
It is.
I like it. That's very synergetic of you.
I don't think that's what it means, but no, directed or supervised by Kamiya, directed by the Nier Automata guy.
Not Yoko Taro.
Yeah, the platinum director for Nier, we should specify.
Yes. So I'll buy this. Since I'm sure nobody else will volunteer for it, so I'm willing to take on the review if nobody wants it.
I mean, I'll cede to you because I mean, you're the director, but
this probably already has some names by it. This looks awesome.
Yeah, and then they say, "Oh, we got one more game for you," and the main event, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, finally being remade.
Dude, this Ghibli looking intro is so good.
Yeah.
I just want a Zelda anime that looks like this.
I think that's where that animation kind of comes from, is I think the like, or at least the manga, right?
Yeah, it looks better than the manga.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's in motion.
I have that manga.
But
just the art style it's very Link Between Worlds. Like, this has to be what the Link Between Worlds team is up to, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's the music too. It gives me Nintendo Land vibes. There's like kind of this like toy look to it, and it's getting some heat. The more I watch it, the more I really, really, really like it.
Yeah, no, that's what
so good.
I've watched the trailer a couple times, and I just think it like there is like that plasticine look to it, but I think it really fits for this world.
Yeah. Well, it has that like really like the micro depth of field or macro depth of field thing going on. It kind of reminds me of did you guys play Pixel Junk Monsters 2? It has that kind of that vibe to it.
Yeah. And like Link's eyes, I really like, because they're just like they're the Tsum black eyes, right?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? This will probably
Kinda
is probably why people hate it. Link kind of looks like a Funko Pop.
Oh, he does. He looks better than Funko. Let's not go that.
Yeah,
but like I think the fact that they're taking a Game Boy game and remaking it, I think the kind of simplistic, like toy look of it kind of fits.
Yeah, it does look better than Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
I like that. So I when I was rewatching this with my wife, she was like, "Are those Goombas?" And I'm like,
yes.
"Oh yeah, yeah. Those are just like I forget that those are in here." But it's even weirder to see them like represented like just plain old modern Goombas in the middle of the Zelda game. And there's a chain chomp in there too.
Yeah,
there's a chain chomp. There's a wart, although he's under an assumed name.
Yeah,
but it's like
piranha plants.
They just took like from the Mario games.
Yeah, they didn't.
Super Mario Brothers.
Just, like,
they were like, we're just gonna take that.
They didn't Zelda them up or nothing. They just like grabbed the models from Odyssey and they were like, like, all right, cool, great. Glad those are still just Goombas.
Yeah. Also, looked up what synergetic means. It just means cooperative.
Yeah, I think I've used those in like presentations to you for like official site things because I like the word synergy. It makes me feel smart.
Yeah, we should use that whenever we're like, there's a good synergetic mode.
That should be like at the bottom of reviews. There should be like pros, cons, and like synergistic qualities.
Yeah,
there was like how many co-op games got announced today?
So Captain Toad is a very synergetic video game now.
Is Chain Alt? What is this game called? The Chains.
Astral Chain.
There you go.
Chain.
Is
they
that
have not said?
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's
like
a synergetic action system of battle and exploration.
It exudes synergy in every aspect, but
I'm just going down the list here. We got Marvel, Box Boy, Captain Toad, Bloodstained, Builders 2. I maybe Dragon Quest 11. I don't know offhand. StarLink, and then Daemon Ex Machina and Astral Chain. Yeah, Unravel 2. Yeah, so like that's 10 different synergetic games announced in one direct. We get it. The Switch has 2 Joy-Cons. 2 controllers it comes with.
They should just call it the Synergy. Is it too late to change the name?
Maybe that's what is that the Snap? The Snap is the Synergy.
Maybe that's what they'll call the Switch Lite or Switch Mini or whatever.
Yeah. The synergistic Switch XL 2D.
So now that we've gone through the direct, here's my problem. There's a number of months between now and summer.
Mm-hmm.
Approximately 3, depending on how you view your calendar. What Nintendo games coming out in that time period? By my count, we have a Yoshi game. We have a downloadable Box Boy game, Captain Toad DLC, and Mario Maker potentially squeezing in right at the end.
And StarLink.
Yeah, sure. That's a half point. But it's basically updates, like a downloadable game and a Yoshi game, and like that's kind of it for a very long time. The summer seems popping. We're gonna have a Fire Emblem, this cool looking Platinum game, some Marvel action, a whole slew of other things, and then probably the fall and winter we'll have even more. I mean, Pokemon Gen 8, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, and that's only what we know of right now. There's probably going to be more. I'm very confused as to how Nintendo is essentially punting the first 5 months of 2019.
They're good at that.
They're trying to jack up their digital revenue by making everybody subscribe to play Tetris 99.
I mean, like, Tetris 99 is really good. So, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just going to play Tetris 99 for 3 months. And I know when I've raised this complaint already, people are like, "Oh, the third-party games." I'm like, let's look at the third-party games coming out in the spring. Okay, Mortal Kombat 11. Actually, you know what? That's coming out day and date. That's cool. Unravel 2 came out on other things last year. Assassin's Creed 3 came out on other things years ago. Final Fantasy 7 is a 20-year-old game, still pretty cool. It's coming to Switch.
There's like 4 Final Fantasies in that time frame too. That's the scary thing.
Yeah. Dead by Daylight is a fall game, actually. Hellblade is spring. Everything else is just generic 2019 or summer or later. And there's stuff that like Dragon's Dogma is coming out in April, and there's probably some other things that will get filled in along the way. I think Capcom's due to give us like some release dates for like Ace Attorney Trilogy and the Resident Evil ports that they said were going to happen. Once again, these are all ports, and like, don't get me wrong, Resident Evil 4 comes out on Switch, I'm gonna buy it, but there's a level to everything that, while I'm happy with the announcements and the games shown off in this Nintendo Direct, I'm somewhat disheartened that it's still a long ways off from playing the games that I'm most enthused about. Anyway, let's go play Tetris 99.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go get us some borscht royale. So that was the Direct. In other very brief news, there was a Pokemon Let's Go demo. It's the E3 demo. That's all you need to know. Except, actually, wait, no, it might not even be the E3 demo because it stops you right at the end of Viridian Forest.
I think that's where the E3 demo stopped you.
Okay. There you go. So if you're not sure if Let's Go is right for you, give that a shot. See if you like it. If not, well, you can just delete the demo. No harm, no foul. But that'll do it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for listening. Audio listeners, keep hanging around. You might notice the file's a bit bigger than you would expect for this show, but we've tacked a little something on the back end there for you. And you can go to patreon.com/NWR to support the site that supports us. All of the news up on NintendoWorldReport.com right now. We will have videos going up to break down pretty much all the big stories from the Direct over the next few days here on NWR TV. So like, subscribe, hit the bell. You'll know every time we upload something. And if you want to plug the Twitters, at JTSKnight92 for John. Did I get that right?
Sure.
At Enron10 for Neal, for all your Niles needs.
Yes.
And
my son did predict Captain Toad DLC. So he's very advanced.
And I'm at NWR Donald. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.